You're watching a Titan Medical Center production. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Titan Medical Center Health and Lifestyle Show. I'm John Tsikouris, and this is my wife, Sharisse, and we are the owners and founders of Titan Medical Center. Stay tuned because you guys are gonna love some of the information you guys are gonna get about your health, your fitness, maybe your financials, and definitely your relationship. So you definitely wanna stay tuned because you're gonna love all the great information coming your way. What do you think, Sharisse?
I think you should tune in every Sunday at 11 a.m.
So stay tuned for this because you guys are gonna love the rest of the show.
Hey guys, I know you've heard of Titan Medical Center, but let me tell you about their approach. Everything is medically supervised. Treatments are customized based on your lab results and goals. At Titan Medical Center, the focus is on total body optimization, not just symptom relief.
All right, guys, so this is great advice to use in any atmosphere or environment you're gonna go into, any situation. So let's talk about it. There's two ways to approach these things: events, situations, scenarios, problems. You can either be proactive or you can either be reactive. But let's talk about this. So when you're talking about being proactive, right? Let's talk about being proactive about your health, all right? So you go on your whole life, you never exercise, you never worry about your diet, you never worry about any of your health aspects or biomarkers. So at that point, when you're doing this, you're just going along. Now, finally, you're 50 years old and you have a massive heart attack. You have some other health issue that pops up, right? What were you at this point? You were waiting to be reactive to something happening to you for you to go and try to fix it, or even go to a doctor or hospital to get evaluated or do diagnostic testing. Now, let's throw that back in the other court and being proactive. You've exercised the majority of your whole life, you've had a pretty good diet, you've been balanced, okay, that's okay, right? But you've been proactive about your health. You're making sure you're taking care of yourself along the way. This person being proactive is majority of the time gonna be healthier than this person that's only being reactive to their health. So be proactive, don't be reactive. You know, it's all about your mindset, you being positive no matter what happens. So be proactive about your health. I say that as a number one priority. The reason is without your health, you're not being able to be proactive about any other thing, business, relationships, anything else. And that is where Titan Medical Center really does come into play. We help a lot of people be proactive about their health. Blood testing, different therapies to make sure they're taking care of themselves, slowing down that aging clock. That's a debilitating one when you get to the end of it. So do yourself a favor, nationwide service Titan Medical Center. If you want our help to be proactive about your health, contact us today, call or text 727-389-3220. You can even check out all our great therapies, services, and even order blood work online at titanmedicalcenter.com. I appreciate you guys, and stay tuned because we got excellent things coming your way. Preventative maintenance, anti-aging. This is something a lot of people don't prioritize. And you know what? It's something that you should prioritize because it's your health. And the healthier you are, the better you're gonna be off. So you know what? Titan Medical Center has awesome rejuvenating therapies that can help you with anti-aging and with preventative care. So if you're interested in learning more about some of these different therapies, then just contact us today, 727-389-3220. If you want to read about some of them, check out titanmedicalcenter.com.
Have you ever dreamt of a better version of yourself? Younger, more beautiful, more perfect.
Did you know that now you can order your blood tests right on the Titan Medical Center website? It's super easy and super simple. Just go to titanmedicalcenter.com, click on the Order Blood Test Now tab, order now, add to cart, check out, and that's it. If you have any questions, you can always call or text Titan Medical Center at 727-389-3220.
What's up, guys? I'm Sharisse. I'm one of the owners of Titan Medical Center. I am sitting on this couch here to take a break to tell you one of my favorite therapies. I have quite a few, actually. I unfortunately don't have all the time in the world to talk to you about all of them right now, so stay tuned for the further videos. But this video, I am going to tell you about my very, very favorite one, okay? My favorite one is the ECA therapy stack, okay? In this ECA capsule, and it is a capsule because I can't say I'm the biggest fan of injectables. However, there are a couple injectables that I take because it's worth taking this shot, and it's seamlessly, very virtually painless, I should say. But this particular therapy, these ECA stack pills, I take them very often, okay? And I've taken them for many, many years at a time. I take them on days that I work, days that I don't work, and I'll tell you why I take them on days that I work and days that I don't work, and what's going on and how it works for me specifically, because there's a lot of people that, you know, might see these differently. So what is an ECA stack? All right, it's a prescription thermogenic. In this capsule, and I take, there's 2 doses actually, but I take the lower dosage because I'm a baby. But in this capsule, you'll find ephedrine, caffeine, aspirin, B12, and chromium. Now, what do these things do, right? So ephedrine is a thermogenic. It heats up your core body temperature, so you're burning fat no matter what you're doing, whether you're running, walking, talking, sitting, working, whatever it is. You're gonna be burning fat while you're doing these things. Caffeine, I think that's self-explanatory of what caffeine does, but for those of you that need me to explain it, caffeine obviously is going to give you energy, help with some, you know, mental clarity. The ephedrine also helps with clarity and mental, you know, focus, that kind of stuff. And then you have your B12. B12 is your vitamin. It's going to help with energy, natural energy as well. Chromium is also going to help with, you know, the fat metabolism and curbing the appetite just a little bit. So this particular therapy, I take it for many reasons. Number 1, helps me get motivated in the morning and get me going, gives me energy, and it's probably, wake up, I go brush my teeth, and then I take my ECA, and I take it fasted. It's probably one of the best ways to take it. Unless you've never taken it before, then you want to take it with some food. But the best way to take it if you're wanting to lose weight is gonna be fasted. So I do take it first thing in the morning, and I would say probably about 30 minutes it takes, and boom, I'm off to the races. You know, a lot of people might take other things to get energy and focus. Like, you know, some people take Adderall, they might take other medications that are in the same category. So if you ever wanted to come off of something like that, this would probably be a good alternative for that. So I get up, I get going, and then I take my second ECA sometime around lunch. So there's a couple different ways you can take it too, right? Because not everybody's the same. I'm not the same as you, you're not the same as him, he's not the same as her, etc. So everybody's different. That's why we make 2 doses, right? We make a small dose, which is the pink capsule, and then we make a higher dosage for people that have a higher tolerance, which is the blue and white capsule. John takes the blue and white capsules, you know, because he's a beast. And like I said, it's from a pharmacy, it's prescription, okay? It's not over the counter. So with these, you're not gonna get the heart palpitations, you're not gonna get the crash, and you can continually take them, and you know, they're fairly safe to take. And they're given in smaller dosages, so you're not taking crazy doses of ephedrine where you are, it's unsafe, let's put it that way. But you know, these are really good too for people like myself. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I'm a very, very straightforward person. Those of you that know me know that, and those of you that don't know me, now you know. But I'm a very straightforward person, so I don't get to work out all the time, you know, and it's tough because I'm busy. I'm always busy, I'm always working. So this is a good therapy for me because it helps keep some of the fat off of me, considering, you know, being the owner of the clinic, you know, I'm kind of under the spotlight all the time. So I'm constantly being looked at like, okay, is this what, you know, good and, you know, summer body is supposed to look like? So this is definitely one of my favorite therapies that Titan Medical Center offers, right? Now, for those of you that may not like a stimulant per se, because this does fall into a stimulant category, we do have some other therapies that are good for fat loss. We actually have a lot now. And then, you know, here comes the big pop for you guys. Those of you that are not losing weight, you might want to get your hormones checked. I got to put that in there because it's a big one for me. I don't like putting Band-Aids on a bleeding wound. Got to make sure your hormones are right, because you could take everything on the planet and you can do all the cool dieting and you can run on a treadmill for 20 hours and still not lose the weight that you're looking to lose, and you're asking yourself why, right? And the reason might be because you have an underlying issue, whether it's a hormonal imbalance, a thyroid issue, maybe your growth hormone levels are low and you're just not getting to where you're trying to go because your hormones are off. So a blood test is something that would check that. We can happily set you up for that as well. But anyways, I had to jump in real quick, let you know about one of my favorite therapies. That's only one of many, but this is definitely my favorite therapy because I won't go without it. I'll say maybe on a Sunday when I'm Netflixing it with John in the bed trying to chill, maybe I won't take one, but all the rest of the days, I'm gonna take my ECA for sure. Anyways, if you have any questions or you would like to get this therapy, it's super easy. All you gotta do is fill out the new patient paperwork. It does not require any blood work. You can get that at www.titlemedicalcenter.com, or you can call or text us at 727-389-3220. We'll be here to help you pretty much any time of the day. Usually I'm working after hours. Love to talk to you. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys soon, and hopefully we can get you on the right regimen too.
Live well, feel well, because a strong body makes a strong mind. If you want to improve both those aspects and even more with your health, then call or text us today, 727-389-3220. What's up, guys? John here.
I'm Sharisse.
And we're back with another Cupid's Corner. So every week, me and Sharisse are just going down the list, checking it twice, and making sure we're giving you guys the best tips, tricks, and things that will hopefully help your guys' relationship, marriage, or future relationship for some of you guys and girls out there. So this week, we were talking about beforehand, and we're like, you know, what's really, really good that's going to cover all the bases here? And something that happens to everybody. It doesn't matter if you're a girl or a guy, if you're in a marriage or you're engaged or you guys are just dating. Mm-hmm. So this week we're going to cover, how to find resolutions to arguments, fighting, or bickering. Okay? Mm-hmm. And what's the best way to go about these things?
How to deal with it.
How to deal with it, right?
Yeah.
How to deal with it.
Because it takes time to know your person.
Right?
To really deal with it.
And, some people, if you're just in the honeymoon stage, you might not have had an argument yet. So you're like, oh, we don't argue yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, give it a little bit longer. I'm sure it's going to come up once or twice.
It's coming. It's coming.
It just depends on the people, but it's going to come, right? No matter if you're an alpha, you're a beta, in the relationship, things are going to happen. So how do you go about these things? And what do you kind of look for? That's the main question, right? So you get in a fight, let's say with your significant other or you're dating somebody or whatever it is, you have this argument, right? And you start arguing about these things and you feel really strong about your side and they feel really strong about their side. So what happens in that argument? So people argue in different ways, right?
There's like an abundance of ways, right? Of how people argue, right?
For sure.
There could be, you have your couples that yell and scream, right? And they both yell and scream and nobody hears anything because both of you guys are yelling and no one's listening, right? That's
true.
They're just yelling and screaming at the same time. That makes no sense, but it's what happens. Then you have couples that, they might pick things up and throw them. Maybe not necessarily at you, right? But they might break things in the house, right? Just I don't know why this happens. It just happens to, be one of the things, right? I'd be lying if I left that out, that you didn't pick something up off the shelf and throw it, or pick up a plate and throw it, because this has happened to many couples, right? And then you have the people that they don't yell or scream at all, which is probably really bad. You have the small little argument or disagreement or whatever it might be. It might be a big disagreement. And then you don't talk about it at all, right? Which is not good, because now you do this thing where it's like festering and it bottles up, right? And I've gotten better about, not letting things bottle up with me. John's gotten better over the years, not letting things bottle up with him. And, try to address it on at least within a 24-hour time frame. Calm down for a second, then address it. Because, if it bottles up, obviously it's just you're gonna blow up like a little teapot, right? So, it's a matter of time before it's like, and then all of a sudden, boom! It's never a good thing.
It's like a nuclear explosion, right? So, when people argue, right, they start talking about things and just something comes up, whatever. I want to do it like this. I don't think we should do it like this. And then you guys start arguing about it. And then it just starts ramping up. And that's kind of where people start getting, where it starts out with a conversation. The other side doesn't see the same way. And then it starts, going higher and higher in pitch as far as your voice goes. Most people do it like that, I guess. Some people can really talk about it and then just go silent, which is not good either.
Right.
Because they're bottling up. But if they start getting up and you guys start yelling at each other, like, where's the resolution with that, right? Or
right.
What can happen, or what can make things better in that situation? Now, some people are different. Some people, and you want to hit these things head on. You never want to let them fester, sit, or keep going days, weeks, months, years, because it's going to get really bad.
It starts to build animosity, right?
Animosity for the couple, or animosity against the person.
Right.
And you're like, oh, I just don't like this person no more.
Yeah.
That's not good either.
Yeah.
But if you start yelling at each other, what can you guys do to maybe take it down a notch? Now, for me, it might be, listen, let me take a little bit of time. Let me take a little bit of breather. That way you can kind of run through things in your head a little bit, kind of, calm down a little bit, because, you're high, you're tense, and that's not good, right? That's aggression to a certain extent. And you don't want to be aggressive with your partner either. You want to sit back and be able to talk to them in more of a mellow mood, even if you feel really strong about something, you're really upset about it. But at least you can talk to them and you can facilitate and communicate with them.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing. We talked about communication every episode.
Communication is key.
You see how this keeps circling back to communication?
Always does.
It's really a vital part of any relationship, whether
right.
it's a love relationship or work relationship, whatever it is. So at that point, when you can calm down and you can really communicate, how you feel about it, why you feel about it this way, and then what's the resolution going to happen for both of you guys to come out of this both happy to a certain extent, right? Compromising.
The compromise is huge.
Right.
Huge.
It is. It really is.
You meet each other at a halfway point.
It really is.
Because you're not always right, okay? And they're not always wrong.
Yeah.
So you can't always say, I'm right. It'll never work out. I promise you, it's never going to work out. And you guys can't yell at each other. Because listen, me and John have been together a long time, right? And I always double our years. Like, I want to say we've been together 20 years. And the reason why it's 20 years is because we are together every single day of every single hour, every minute of every day. So technically, right, you got it like double the time, right? So let's just say, whatever, 13, 14 years, whatever, double the years to 20. So you learn people over time. And I'd be lying to you if I told you that me and John haven't had blowout arguments. When I talk about blowout arguments, in the very beginning, and guys, we were younger, okay? I was 21, so it's okay, right? But, blowout arguments where screaming, yelling, just next level, right? I mean, even go outside, yelling out there, making a scene, I was good at making scenes, right? And this is not the way to handle things, but at least I can tell you from my experience of what I did that I probably shouldn't have done, and now I do handle differently because I'm much more mature and I'm older and I understand my husband, and I just try to, now I handle it a much different way. But back then it was just, I was so hot, so ready, boom, boom. It didn't matter. I didn't care what he had to say. It was what I had to say. You're going to listen to me. And if you start talking, I'm going to talk louder. And then just, it escalates, right? So one of you guys is going to have to take a step down, or maybe both of you guys need to take a step apart, because that step apart, even, because John used to want to go for a ride, right, in the car. And of course, when he wants to go for a ride, I'm like, well, who are you going to go talk to in the car? Who are you going to go call? Huh? Who are you going to call? You going to go call and tell them all what's going on? Huh? You want their advice? Is that what's going to happen? Who are you going to call when you go in the car? Where are you going? How long are you be gone for? And it would be like, this poor guy's been through a lot, right? I feel bad. I do.
Help me!
I feel bad for John. He's been through a lot, right? But, you learn over time and, kind of come to the compromise of to leave him alone. Maybe he doesn't have to leave, so I don't have to scream at him and be like, where are you going? What are you doing? Da, da, da. Maybe you could just step away for a minute, or I'll walk away for a minute. And he doesn't take that much time to cool off. It usually takes maybe, back in the day, it was an hour or two. Nowadays, it's maybe like 15, 20 minutes, right? But, you learn your partner and then you apply it. You can't just disregard it because you'll never get anywhere. You guys will always continue fighting. And you'll never be able to get any resolutions out of it because you keep fighting the same exact way. Yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, we used to have blood arguments, super blood arguments. And nowadays, and I'll use an example, of what I do now. And now I'm going to tell him, I don't think I've told him this yet. So, happy ABC, he gets to know. But nowadays, if there is a disagreement, right? And, I don't care if we're around people or even if we're not around people, right? And I know that he's pissed off, right? Or he's in a bad mood or he doesn't feel good, whatever, okay? And because he doesn't normally get mad. So it's very seldom that I have to do this. So I just suck it up and do it. So if I disagree with him, and I this would be something back in the day where I would fight with him about it and say, that is not how it went down. This is how it went down. This is not right. I think you're wrong, whatever. At this point, now I just say, okay. That's it. I just say, okay. I don't even give an answer or anything. I just say, okay. And like when you just say that, it kind of just, it just stops like, it really gives your significant other no other option to just keep talking about it. And then if they could say it again, then you just say, okay. And just, you don't have to say it mean or rude or anything. Just say, okay. If you need to talk about it in an hour about, okay, hey, listen, I think that this could have been done differently, or this is how I felt about that. But in the moment, in the heat of the moment, when you know that they're mad and they don't feel good, or whatever's going on, right? Just take the moment to just say, okay. And I promise you, like, that is something that is the best advice I can give you. That has taken me 10 years to do, okay? So, because I am very, 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 very passionate about what I do. And obviously, if I think I'm right about something, I'll be the first person to speak up and be like, hold up, stop right there. That is not how it went down. And I don't know why you're yelling at me about it, but this is what's going on. Now I've learned, I'll say it when I need to say it, but every once in a while, I'll give it to him and just say, okay. Because he can't argue with me if I just say, okay. You're going to keep yelling at you. No one's going to keep yelling at you if you say, okay. So just say, okay.
Don't say it sarcastically.
Don't say it like that. Just say, okay.
Because that's just going to add more
fuel to the fire. Don't say, okay. Mm-hmm, sure. Don't do that, okay? Maybe just agree for the moment, okay? To just let things cool off, simmer. And then if you need to address it in an hour, then address it in an hour when things are cooled down and they're not in the moment. But that is just an example of me telling you how to handle it at that very moment. Now, you may not like it. Someone like me, I'm alpha female in this relationship. This is the alpha. Outside of this relationship, I am the alpha everywhere, right? So it's in my genes to be like, no, I'm going to speak. So, but, I sometimes you just have to take, bite your tongue for a minute and just let it ride, and sometimes it does take some training to do. It takes training to do. And I'm sure
it takes self-control.
I mean, I'm sure you have things that you've probably come up with up to date on how to deal with me.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, because I'm crazy.
I just try to talk to her about the things listen, obviously I don't do it in front of people or whatever. That's the first mistake if you do that, right? But, if you have a problem or an issue and you guys need to talk about it, then at that point you need to set some time aside and kind of think about how you're going to relay this to your partner, right? And don't sugarcoat things. I don't mean it like that. You need to be truthful and straightforward, but talk in a respectful manner. Like, listen, I really didn't like the way this went down. I don't really want to do this anymore. And at that point, can we come to terms with that? And I think your partner will be more responsive to that. A lot of people, the first mistake that happens is they hold these things in. They start drinking or doing something else, and then at that point it comes out wrong, and then both parties start fighting really bad, and they might not even think about what they're saying to a certain extent, and it might come out wrong, and it might come out really bad, right? And this can add to more problems down the line if you do it like that. So do it in a sober manner. Talk to them about what the problem was, why it affected you, or why you think that you were right in the situation. And at that point, you guys got to talk about it and then come to a compromise. Say, listen, You know, I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Don't be scared to say you're sorry.
No, that's the first thing. Yeah.
Don't be scared to say you're sorry.
It takes a bigger person, you know. And listen, I'm alpha male out there, and I know a lot of alpha guys like that think that it's a weakness to an apology, right? That's not true, right? It takes a bigger man to be able to apologize that they've done wrong, and want to move forward. You know, that's a big thing. But a lot of people don't want to do that because it's a sign of weakness. And that's how I was raised. You know, that's how the old schoolers are. Don't apologize because it's a sign of weakness. I don't really think that now. I think that, you know, if I'm wrong, and I'm going to apologize for it because I truly mean the apology.
Yeah, don't say it if you really don't mean it.
Whatever, I'm sorry. That comes across really bad, right?
Yeah.
Your partner's going to take that and be like, well, are you really sorry? Or are you just saying it because you wanted me to hear that?
Right.
And, you know, and then your actions speak louder than words, right? Mm-hmm. Because if you apologize and you compromise and you still do it, then you're really not sorry, and you're just going to do it anyway. And that's going to piss them off even more.
Right.
So, you know, at that point, you got to come to a certain... It comes to a certain aspect in your life where you're going to grow a little bit more maturity-wise, and especially in arguing. If you have something that you guys need to battle out, per se, you guys need to sit, talk about it, and then find a resolution without screaming at each other, bringing each other down, saying things against your partner. You know, you're calling them names and such.
You're calling them names, and that's a big one.
Because we've all done it, probably, right?
Yeah, for sure. And then once you say it, you can't take it back.
You can't take it back. So,
all you can do is kind of try to fix it after the fact, but you can't take it back. Once it comes out of your mouth, you can't take it back.
So at that point, that's the point of this conversation. Make sure you guys are growing in your relationship. And this means if you have arguments, approach it like an adult. Approach it civilized, you know, with love to your partner. Even if you hate what would happen, you find out something horrible happened, you have to approach it like that. You know, be level-headed. And that's the best advice I can give you guys from my end. I mean, that is what it is. So grow up, all right? Things are going to happen. Deal with them. Hit them straight head on, and show love to your partner.
Just don't hit them straight head on with the plate in the kitchen.
Don't hit them. Yeah. Don't fight outside.
Don't throw any glasses or break anything.
You don't want your significant other going to jail or anything like this either, right?
No.
Unless they're doing something really bad.
Never call the cops.
Unless they're doing something really bad.
Unless you really need to.
Right?
Leave them out of it.
That's going to cause other problems down the road.
That's going to cause more problems, yeah.
So, this is just another little tip and trick from me and Sharisse for Cupid's Corner. We're here with you guys every Sunday at 11 a.m. here on ABC. Make sure you guys go check out our social media, Titan Medical Center on Instagram and Facebook, TikTok too. And all our great videos and contents are on YouTube. Go there, Titan Medical Center, look it up. Click subscribe, hit the all notification bell, and you'll be tuned in to me and Sharisse and everything Titan Medical Center. We love you guys. Thank you guys for the support week in and week out. And we'll see you next week on another Cupid's Corner.
See you then.